Okay, so good evening, friends, to yet another session with the tribe and chatty fun with young learners. And today we have Hiya and Daanya, who've moved from schooling to an unschooling path. And Hiya was on a farm, or kind of keeps going to the farm. And I just learned that, yes, she's not into farming, but more so into house building and other things on the farm. So she's taken to a farm life along with the urban life. So we were very, very curious to, know how it all shaped up and how was it on the farm and, before that. So looking forward to your journey here. Welcome. And we also have Daanya, who's into a lot of things. In fact, she is a busy bee, if I may call her. She loves doing different activities and learning from every possible corner that she can. And of course, she has a brilliant cat who also seems to be very interesting in my voice right now. So hello. And yes, from schooling to an unschooling journey. Would love to hear your experiences with life, and today being Teachers Day, how has it been? How has life been a journey and a teacher to you both? So welcome, and you can take it on from here. We will keep ourselves muted till we have their journeys kind of shared by them, and then we can have the questions, then we can have it interactive with the audience. So you can put down your questions, audience, or you can hold it and they can answer later, or however they wish to kind of, take it from here. So all the best, have fun, and take it on. I'll zip up now. It's all yours.
Yeah. So thanks for introducing us, Ashita. I'm Hiya, I'm 15 years old, and this would be my 6th year of homeschooling. So like a homeschooling veteran now. And it's sort of like a roller coaster. It's ups and downs, and like it's not like the best. It's interesting. And so I like it more than schooling because you get firstly you get more time to like experience the world, and you get to know yourself better, like what do you like to do and what do you not like to do, and you get to know all your interests at a much earlier age than if you were in school. Yeah. Daanya, you can go.
Daanya, you'll have to unmute yourself. We can't hear you.
Yeah, okay. So my Daanya, and thing 4 years ago. For me, it's only because when you're going to school, you have a very strict curriculum. You can't go in and out of it. You can't break it. It's like I don't have time to study what I want to, and I was really into nature at that time. So I wanted to study nature, and I didn't want to bound by school. School would take up most of my time, and which means I can't really study what I want to do. So and there were lots of other reasons. It's that even if I wanted to do something like as biology, you couldn't do that until 7th, 8th grade. But that's not true. If you can do it if you want to do it, but because of the school rules and everything, it's like you're bound by what they say you heard. So I didn't really like that. So my mom, she was like, she was not really sure about homeschool, but she said, okay, that's good. The first day, I did go to school and he was having a lot of fun. And it's like I didn't think on my own. Fast forward long time, now I've gotten into specified in butterflies, and I'm always reading something or the other. So it's the fact that you can do anything once. There's a curriculum, but you don't have to follow it that strictly. And recently, I just joined this homeschooling group called Sandbox Academy. It's not a school at all. It's not even related. It's a group where lots of homeschoolers come together and they learn from each other. They learn from different people, and there's just knowledge gathering, and it's a huge community. So yeah, I love the teachers there. There are a lot of teachers like Shilpa ma'am and everybody. They have wonderful teachers, and they are not teachers actually. They're just five people who actually love it. And then I also have a math tutor. Like with school, I was very weak at math.
Sorry, Daanya, your voice is breaking, so it's not very clear.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm so sorry, didn't want to interrupt you.
Okay. Say, which part did you not hear? Can you tell me where I cut off?
This is clear. It was in between, bits and pieces.
Okay.
If you could just start with your homeschooling group that you joined.
One second. Yeah. Can you hear now?
Yeah.
Hello. Yeah. So I think basically the co-op learning thing where lots of homeschooling kids come together and they learn from each other, they learn from other teachers. There are teachers coming to subject, and it's basically like a homeschooling co-op community where you just it's called Sandbox Academy. And it's a really fun, it's nothing related to school at all. There is no restriction. You share whatever you want, you learn from others, and it's really fun. There are teachers. I can't say teachers, but there are people who teach us. There's one teacher called Shilva ma'am. She's wonderful. She started this, and it's just a wonderful place to learn for all homeschoolers. It's even welcome to schoolers, but mostly it's homeschoolers there. Then yeah, so for all this time, I have learned a lot. I've started reading butterflies. I've joined the wonderful sandbox, and for the past 4 years since I quit school, I was really terrible at math. It's just I was weak at it. So then I had my other tutor, Manaswita ma'am. She's a tutor I know for a long time, so she's also helped me a lot. So yeah, I think homeschooling is really fun, and it's a fun way to learn things you don't learn in school. It's like out of the box.
Yeah. So even when I started homeschooling, I joined this sort of, I don't know if you'd call it a club, but yeah, so we would meet like every weekend and basically like try to find out each other's interests, because we were all new into homeschooling at that point. There were very few homeschoolers, and most of them had been to school before. So it's not really hard for us to interact with people. And but then it slowly faded away. That club is gone. And then I was like, okay, I'll focus on myself now. So I really got into animal rescue. Then I joined a shelter and an animal shelter. Yeah. And then I started volunteering there at the age of 12. And I was, the fun thing is that I was really scared of needles. I still am scared to get like vaccines and stuff. But as soon as I heard that I needed to get vaccinated for joining the center, I was like, okay, let's go, let's go, let's go. I was so excited, I couldn't wait. And so yeah, I joined that. Then I started fostering cats. And for fostering, I think homeschooling really helped me with that too, because otherwise I wouldn't have time to do to foster. And now there's just cats roaming around at my home any time of the day. Um, but yeah, homeschooling is helpful. But I think every kid, at least for say 2 or 3 years, should go to school, because I've known many people who've done homeschooling who've never been to school. And when I meet them, they're like all super awkward, and they don't know how to really talk to people. And I think that might could be problematic in the future, because if you suppose get into a job, and then it'll be hard for you to say talk or like work in groups. So I think at least for 2 or 3 years everyone should go to school, and like you build a friend circle and it's a fun experience. Okay. Next, when you first start homeschooling, there will be a time for all homeschoolers where there'll be this area of a few months where you have absolutely no idea what to do. Because in school, you had this like you wake up at 7, and then you have to, like, brush your teeth, get ready, go to school, come back, do some sort of activity, homework, and then go to sleep and repeat it all over again. But when you don't have that, uh, in the beginning you might think it's really fun, that oh my god, I have all this free time to myself. But it's very intimidating because you don't know what to do with the time, and you're super confused, like oh my god, am I wasting time? I don't know what to do, and it builds upon you stress. So uh, and then also all your friends that you know previously, they'll all be in school, and you're like, none of my friends are here. I don't know what to do. And if you don't have siblings, it's even worse. So that time, I think that's the best time where you should try as many new things as you want. Like I started getting into music at that time. I was already into art, but that's the time when I really started getting into music, like guitar and vocals. And then I realized that I hate maths and I'm horrible at maths. So that's also one thing I realized. And yeah, so that's the best time to like really figure yourself out. And then once you've gotten over that barrier, once you've gotten to figure out what to do with your time, then it's much easier for you to figure out the rest of your course. And some people, they don't even follow the usual style, like most homeschoolers including me. I'm going to give my 10th, then I'll give my 12th, I'll go to college, whatever. But many people, they don't even do that. They don't give the 10th, they don't give the 12th. So I don't really know how that goes. But yeah, there are many options. Many people will say, most people will actually say that you have to give 10th, and if you don't give 10th, then your life is ruined. Then people will say, oh, she's like a ninth fail. But no, that doesn't really matter. So yeah, you should just focus on yourself and don't no, not care about what other people really say. Yeah. We can't hear you, Danya.
Hello. Now you hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's actually true. There will be a time where you don't know what to do with your time, and you're like, wait, all the friends are doing something. Am I the only one who is absolutely doing nothing? Am I the only one who is like has nothing to do with that time? And that is actually true. That's when you start doing things. You get bored, and then you have to start finding a way to engage yourself. Okay, my voice is cutting. Why is my voice cutting?
No, it's fine now. It's fine now. It was, but now it's yeah.
Yeah. So, so I was saying that that time does come where you're like you know what to do with your life, and see that's why I joined Sandbox, because it happens every day from 11:30 to 1:30. It's just where you have it's just set that thing into my life that okay, yeah, now I have my own group that I can chat with, and it's something that I just love doing. And yeah, in the middle, I did get into fostering dogs and cats too. I fostered one dog with parvovirus. I fostered lots of dogs and puppies and long stories. Yeah, so now I have 6 cats, so I can't keep anything else. But I do foster, generally feed, fodder, everything. I did raise a dog with my own hands with parvovirus. He was almost dying. I had to wear him diapers every day to make him survive. And yeah, actually homeschooling did give me the advantage to actually do that. If I was in school, I would have no time to run to the doctor, do this, do that, help the dog. It's a learning in its own way. The dog has taught me so many things that I didn't know before. So homeschooling, you will find every way to teach yourself something or the other that you probably would not learn in school. And that is something that is a key point, because lots of people will tell you in the middle, what are you doing, why are you doing this, how can you school, you're going to become dumb. In the middle I used to get teased a lot because people used to say I would become dumb, which was, I don't know, in the middle I used to get triggered, because how, I just first started doing this. Luckily my mom and dad were really supportive. See, if your parents are supportive of it, it becomes twice as more easier than it actually is. And it's like, in the middle, lots of people will tell you, what are you doing? How are you doing this? They'll be like, oh my god, you should go to school. Yeah, and people will be like, 10th grade really matters if you give the exams and all that. But all that aside, that's not actually true. You can learn just as much homeschooling than you're in school, like twice more. Because homeschooling, you get time. If you know how to figure out what you're going to do, then you've got it set. Then you just have to figure, you study, you need to, figure out your life, you need to get into hobbies. In the middle, I got into butterfly rearing. I've been studying butterflies like crazy. I did a course with the Butterfly Man of India, and then I just started to come from there. He still helps me. I call him if I find a small caterpillar, like, what is this species? It's always that I'm eager to learn. So for my sandbox group now, I'm actually doing a presentation on butterflies, and I'm doing lots of things, honestly. Just recently, I had gotten into a geography, All India geography competition, and won it. And it's like I'm doing so many things. It's hard to explain what I'm not doing. It's like I've got it figured out. If you know what you want to be, if you know what you want to do, even if you don't know what to be, if you have some few hobbies like gardening or cooking or baking or anything, you've got it set. For example, it's just, for me, lots of hobbies. I do classical singing well, so I did my first years and everything. So my day is fixed. I wake up in the morning, I join my class, my sandbox. Sometimes I'll have my math class. Sometimes, usually, I'll have my sandbox only, and then I'll go on with my day. I'll probably, I'll do something. I'll chat with my friends. I'll go out for a while. I'll, sit and study maybe a little. I'll read up on something, and it's just like I figured it out on my own. So yeah.
Okay. So coming back to the topic of family and more like extended family. So when we first started homeschooling, I had just completed my fourth grade, and we had this friend, my dad's friend. He had been homeschooling both his kids, and I used to see how much they travel, and like their whole day is like full of interesting stuff, not just studying, sitting on a desk. And I used to like envy them, like, why can't I be like her? It's so cool, like her day is just full of fun stuff. And then my dad was like, okay, let's try it. And then when we announced to the rest of our family, like aunts and uncles and grandmas, grandparents especially, they were like, oh my god, what are you doing, why are you removing your kid out of school, that's the one thing. And then, but some of them were supportive, like the more say, let's say, modern ones. But more older people, they were very skeptical. Now they're fine, but they were very skeptical, like, why are you taking your kid out of school, what's going to become of her, she's going to be a failure, oh my god, what are you doing to your kid, you should take care of your family. But we didn't really pay attention to them, and then we also educated them about, like, this is how the world is now, modernism, blah blah blah. And I think if we didn't have those few people who were like supportive, some of my aunts and uncles and friends who were supportive. If they weren't there, then we wouldn't have taken the leap of homeschooling. Okay, now, yeah, so that's there. And then, okay, I don't know what to say. Yeah, so also with the free time, you also get to travel a lot more and see lots of new places. And you really get to go into nature and do lots of stuff that your friends are like envious of you. Like before, I used to look at my friends and be like, oh, she's going to school. Oh my God, what am I doing? I don't study even a single hour of the day. I'm going to like what's going to happen? But then now they look at me and they're like, oh, every day you're going to this new place and we want to do this and we want to do that. And so at first it's going to be really like rocky, but it'll get better. And then it'll be like super fun. Uh, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, and definitely, if you don't have anybody who will support you, then it's gonna become a problem. And most time, even if the kid wants to homeschool, even if they want it, the parents, people, see, what the problem is, the people who are older, they don't really know. They have grown up, they've been born and brought up going to school. They know that this is gonna happen if you don't go to school. That's their mental psychology. But those, yeah, when I got unschooled, my mom's mom was like some of the people were supportive, but not all of them, not all my friends were supportive. I remember in my old building, somebody used to say I would become dumb and an idiot or something like that. And it triggered me at that point. But now when I look back, I act like laughing at myself, because it's just that you, as much as you are thinking that, oh my God, this is happening, that is happening, maybe it will not work out, your parents and people who are with you actually think the same way, because they have the you move right? So it's stress on them too, because hundreds of people are telling them that, why did you take her off school, are you mad, what is she going to become, how is she going to do this? They're going to say the same thing. So it's hard on the parents as well, because I remember some of my mom's friends, not all of them, they were like, oh my God, did you actually take your daughter off school? Oh my God. So it's like she didn't really know what to do. But luckily she was super supportive of this thing. So it worked out at the end. And people will tell my mom, they will call her up to ask her how to homeschool. Like up to now, I think lots of people, today only she was talking to somebody and informing them of how to homeschool, because now they're calling her to ask her, how do you homeschool a child? And obviously, while I'm learning, she's learning that, she's sharing my experience with others, and so that they can unschool their kids to a homeschool. Unschooling is totally different. It's what Hiya said. It's the basically where you don't give your 10th, 11th, and all that stuff. It's basically where you completely go off school. No curriculum, nothing. Homeschooling is a little bit of curriculum, but it's at the same time you're learning at your own pace, your own time, and everything. So yeah, I'm homeschooling, I'm not unschooling, and I have a lot of friends who are unschooling too, which doesn't really matter because both of them are learning your own way. So yeah.
Yeah. So whenever we go to to meet friends, say, and then more recently, okay, not before, like if people ask me questions about myself, then there's lots of stuff I have to say about myself, like, oh, I do fostering, I rescue, I just cooked this new dish, I sold this art piece, blah blah blah. But then they talk to other kids who are in school and all they're thinking about is 10th grade, 10th grade, 10th grade. And then they're like, oh yeah, what's going on in your life? Then they'll be like, oh yeah, my 10th is very close, I'm focusing on studies, yeah, I got an A in my last test. And that's all they can talk about. And that's why I think many parents also try to shift to unschooling or homeschooling or just alternate learning, so that their kids like don't not turn out, but more, they get more out of life in general. There's more to do. Okay, now coming to the topic of what parents are probably waiting for the most, studies or lack thereof. Um, when I was in fourth, I had to complete like this big stack of books in 1 year. The study, two chapters of science, 2 chapters of math, blah blah blah. But right now, like when I stopped that, I did that for a few years. Like I still got books from outside, and I kept studying a little less, but still like good enough, good amount. But now what I do is more of hands-on learning or experiential learning. um I started learning from Khan Academy first and online YouTube tutorials and stuff. But now if I want to uh, if I want to learn biology, then I'll go to farms and then say, I have a friend who catches snakes. So he was teaching me all about the anatomy of snakes and all the venom and how they extracted, how to count the ventral scale and stuff. So it's like actual hands-on learning. But if you want to learn the anatomy of snakes while you're in school, you'll get like a few diagrams, and then you'll have like all labels and stuff. But then if you see it like a snake in real life, then you won't be able to guess it, because like you've that picture of the diagram is just set into your mind. Only if you see the diagram, you'll be able to recognize those parts. So I think studies in homeschooling. So if your kid is homeschooled and if they're not studying, maybe try to look at what else they're doing and how they're getting, um, like how they're learning out of that, more learning. Like in the last session, this one, the gaming gang was there, and they were talking about how they learned through gaming. And most parents were like, ooh, the game like 11 hours a day, oh my god. But there's lots of stuff to be learned from everything, even gaming, even just being on social media the whole day. There's learning out of everything. Yeah, that's that.
Yeah. Yeah, actually, it's true. You're doing homeschooling, you get into hands-on learning as well. For example, instead of studying the entire how a plant germinates, which by the way is they make it super complex in school. I don't know why. They will literally give you diagrams after diagrams and books and pages. I have my old school science book. They had given back to me. I don't know why. And you know what? I was going through it and I'm like, I do not want to do this. I do not want to revise an entire chapter. It's not like I don't want to, but it's just way too boring for me to read 3, 5, 6 pages and just mug everything out in my head. There is no point of doing that. And you would learn better if you're doing it. So, I did experiments like how plants grow, how plants germinate, which conditions do they grow in, a lot of that when I first started homeschooling, and still I'm doing lots of things. And right now in science, I'm usually concentrating on butterflies and biology and anatomy of a butterfly and everything. So I think I've read over 45 species, 20, at least 15, 20 species of butterflies. And how many caterpillars I've read is like, I don't know, estimated 40, 50, something like that. I really don't know how many. I've lost count of. I can't really count every caterpillar and tell you how many I've read. But yeah, I have read quite a few, and I'm trying to create awareness about butterflies because lots of people are polluting and the whole environmental ecosystem and all that. So I'm doing that, and obviously I have 6 beautiful babies, cats actually. So yeah, I get to spend more time with them, I think, because I'm always with them and I'm always laughing at something or the other they're doing. Right now, one's just staring at me from the back. So yeah, I think that instead of going to school and reading it's first few years it's okay to go to school because you get a sense of socialization, like socializing with other people, being in a group, teamwork, and because you get projects in school and everything, you sit people, there's like a lot of socialization, and you are they are like socializing with you and you're socializing with them. If you're completely homeschooling, and some people do it wrong, some people just get the kids homeschooled and they just make them study. That is not homeschooling. If you continuously just do nothing else but study in homeschooling, like for example, class after class after class after class after class, like till the end of the day you're just doing classes, that is not homeschooling. Lots of people are like, oh, my child homeschool, but the child's schedule is really just classes. That's all going to school, nothing else. So, homeschooling is about having a sense of learning. Like, I have the math, I have my sandbox, but at the same time, I am studying at my own breath as well. I am doing what I want as well. It's open to me for me to choose what to do. I don't. It's like I get to choose something. Obviously, I have to do, but my own time, my own pace, everything. So having continuous classes the whole day is not homeschooling, but having lots of learning, but not completely just studying like school. School and homeschooling are very different. So yeah. So that's it, I guess.
Yeah. So okay, I'll share an incident. So once when people ask me like what exactly do you mean by hands-on learning and stuff. So once me and my friend, she is also a homeschooler, we were trying to set up a tent. We never set up a tent before. We were camping. And I was like, yeah, I know how to set up a tent. I know how to set up a tent. So we went down and I didn't know how to set up a tent. And then we started setting it up and we set it up wrong. And then one of the camp host guys, he comes and he's like, what are you doing? I'm like, we'll learn and we'll do it. And then we figured out what went wrong and what went right. And then by ourselves we figured out how to put it on properly. And he was like, no, you have to read from the manual, you have to, then you'll know what to do. But then one of the kids who learned from the manual, she like 2 days later she forgot like where this part of the 10 goes, where that part of the 10 goes. But for us, we made a few mistakes, then we were like, oh, this is not how it should be done, this is the right way. So because of mistakes we learn. And that was like a really cool part, like nice experience of hands-on learning, I guess. Huh. And many people are like, I don't know how to homeschool my child, I don't know how to do this. And there's many like meets and sessions sort of things that happen throughout the year. Like there's LSUC, there's Sam, Shikshantar and stuff, where you can meet other homeschoolers, and your kid can learn from them, or you can learn from them and find out about their stories and how they go through with their um, homeschooling life. And there's many people who've been homeschooling their entire life, and they'll have a lot to share. So, and these type of things, what we're doing right now, forgot about that. That and you really should travel more when you homeschool. Yeah. Another thing, most alternate schoolers, they will go through this part, like this just happened to me a few days ago, where this will be more like after a few years of homeschooling, you like break down. You're like, okay, all my friends know trigonometry, all my friends know how to do this of that, and they know all the numbers of the pi and blah blah blah. And then I don't know anything. Oh my god, what will I do? What will I do? And then you have this breakdown, like you have no idea what you're going to do with life, and just your brain just goes. That happened to me like a week ago. And but after that you'll learn a lot from that if you like focus on what's actually bothering you, and then you start putting smaller goals ahead of you. um yeah, so that's another way of how you will like get to know yourself better than if you were, say, in school. Yeah.
I know. I'm sorry, my power has gone. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Sorry, this is one of the things about living in Goa. Living in Goa, there are power cuts. Not in the heart of Goa, in the village part of Goa. Yeah. So anyway, I was gonna say that when I'm homeschooling and when I'm like trying to figure out when I was first trying to figure out my life, because I was really confused what I was going to do first of all to begin with, because without school for the first 3 days, it's like, oh yeah, I'm gonna watch TV the whole day and everything. But then, after that, like, you don't want to watch TV anymore. You don't want to do the things you do. You just want to do something different. And then you're like, should I go back to school? It was more fun. That's what you think. But then, you need to find an occupation, something that you can do that will keep you engaged and that will just, have your side. And see, I had 6 cats. So, I started getting cat. I already had started taking care of my cats after that. And then, when you're homeschooling and you just left school, you start doing things that you have not done before. Like when I was in school, I never ever touched butterflies, or I've not read butterflies that time. And recently I just joined this thing called Earth Buddies. It's a group of people who do everything eco-friendly. Um, Recently, we had a meeting today, and we were doing eco-friendly gift wrapping. So where you wrap completely eco-friendly. So yeah, I'm doing a lot of things. It's basically a thing where they teach you how to do everything eco-friendly, where it's all about earth, and you're the earth buddy. So that's the whole thing. That's a like nice, really nice workshop. You can find it on I think Facebook or Google or Instagram or something. So yeah, I think while I'm homeschooling, I've been a part of lots of things. So yeah, it's pretty fun. And if you got it figured out, if you got something that you want to do, something that you want to chase, then it's possible to just chase it. And right now I'm actually finding it hard to speak because it's really hot in my room. So yeah, it's just having fun in life and being free to do what you want to do without the teacher saying no, you can't do this. Even if I have to study something extra in, for example, biology or something I like, or the subject I like, I can't, because I'm bound by my homework, I'm bound by everything. And it's too it I don't have the time to do anything. Now I literally go wandering in the jungles, not jungles, but in the grass area and the open space and everything. And I sit there for half an hour observing everything. I observe the pigs, I observe the butterflies, I observe everything. The other day I was watching this butterfly laying eggs and the wasp going and trying to infect the eggs. I was like, it's learning while watching things and in the morning. And usually, if I have school, I can't do that because I'm on school at morning. I'm going to school, or I'm, even if it's online, I'm sitting at home and listening to the teacher speak. So, and honestly, I feel like it's just not something I want to do. But like today morning I was going and I was sitting and observing. I was seeing pigs, I was seeing piglets, I was, just engaging with everything. Then I start feeding dogs in the evening. So, I'm making a bond with everything around me. I am learning things from around me. Uh, like sometimes just things don't have to survive. I've seen the butterfly eggs get infected by wasp just seconds after the butterfly lays it. You can't do anything about it. I've seen butterflies getting eaten by praying mantis. You can't do anything about it. It's the circle of life. You just observe things around you and you figure them out, I guess. So by observing the tiny little details, even nature has to give you, and Earth itself, you're like learning without going to school and sitting and looking at the teacher's board, and the teacher just talks and talks and talks and you just doze off. Instead of doing that, I think it's a mix of everything in your life. So yeah.
Yeah. So like she was talking about the circle of life and stuff. One of my kittens, she was like the neonate. Neonate is like they're barely like a week old, still haven't opened their eyes, still had the umbilical cord attached. So I think her mom passed away and someone got her to me saying, oh, I don't know what to do. And then we took her to the vet. He said she has like very less chance of survival because she had some respiratory issues. And the next few days, actually, she passed away. And then we were all crying. She died in my hands. It was very sad. So these are like another these are the kind of things you get to experience when you like dabble into more things. You do lots of other stuff. Like I 5 years ago I would have never thought of fostering. I didn't even know what fostering was. And
Sorry, here, I think it's
I
the
was
connection. We missed it completely. We can't hear you.
you adopt animals.
Okay, I think it's connectivity.
That's actually odd because the power is in here.
Well,
It's always that, at least 2 times a day my power goes.
yeah, right. I
But
think
power goes, you're like, you go to your family and you sit and chat with them 5 minutes, and
isn't it? Yeah.
discount. So
True. Sorry, here. You will have to kind of please repeat yourself because of the connectivity issue. We couldn't hear you.
Oh, from what point did it stop?
okay, so I heard you tell the cat that passed away was very sad, and then I heard you say something that I really couldn't figure out what you said.
Okay, sorry. The power is here. I don't know what. Okay. So you can complete your thing if you're saying something.
Excuse me, what? I'm sorry.
If you were saying something, you can complete it.
No, I was not saying anything. I was just talking to Shanti.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So I was really into cooking, and when I was about 12, I started interning at this restaurant, and they were hesitant about it at first. They were like, no, if she's 12, what if someone like it's like not like she's not even the right age to start a job. And my mom was like, no, just teach her. You don't have to pay her, you don't have to do anything. Just teach her how to cook. So I started interning there. I interned there for about 3 months, and I didn't learn much cooking there. So I started at another cafe. And on the first day, I learned so much cooking. Like it was like crazy. My mind was going crazy with information. And then again, I volunteered at the animal shelter and lots of other stuff. Like because of you make so many connections. Like people can get you into so much stuff. Like we didn't know any of those people before, and like if I hadn't asked them that can we intern at your cafe, then I wouldn't have known that I love to cook, and then I was really interested in like serving people and cooking and stuff. Yeah. And it also helps you like you can also put it on your resume, and it's good for your work and stuff.
Yeah. So when you're doing things, you just keep adding on to things that you want to do, and so first it started out with me wanting to be naturalist. Then it when I started exploring more and more and more, and with all the free time, uh I realized I wanted to do butterflies. After layering a lot of butterflies, I'm like, okay, mama, I want to study butterflies. My mom's like, okay, whatever you wish. And my mom has always been super supportive. It's not like she's ever, obviously, when when I'm like, mama, I don't want to do it today and tomorrow, and if I keep, saying that I don't want to do anything, then my mom would be like, okay, you have to do something. You can't just will like your time and do nothing, absolutely nothing. So you have to do something. So then I started doing things, and I have lots of occupations, honestly. Sometimes I just sit there and get bored. And with the sandbox group, I have my entire, we've created a completely different group with all the homeschoolers where we just chat and chat and chat. So it's always, if you say hello, anyone there, there will be at least somebody who will reply back, oh yeah, hi. And then we'll start a conversation on something completely different. It it doesn't have to be something particular. And we have a book club in work once one month. Yeah. So once in a month there is a book club, and we go and talk about they about the book prior. You have to read the book and then talk about the book. So recently we had on the gift of marriage. Like we have working with a partner to enact the thing, enact the story and everything. So I'm learning story scripting and lots of things, and it's just a mixed amount of everything. And recently for Independence Day, we had to put on a show for all the parents and all the teachers of Sandbox. So we were like, okay, so it's like the children do everything, no parents had. I was part of a song group. Some people were in speech, some people were lots of different things. As part of the song group, Israel, a guy from the Sandbox group, he directed the song. So somebody else wrote the song, and I actually like sang the song. So it's everybody's input, but these were the main people, and we all sorted it out. In the middle, we had fought so much, but the teachers gave us a learning. They were like, you know what, we'll guide you, but you have to sort it out yourself. But finally, the song came out good. But it's a learning. While we were not agreeing to things, the lyrics was wrong. Like, at the end, we learned how to write a song. Yeah. Just a second, my battery is 1%. I'm gonna log in.
Okay. Yeah. So another thing, when you're in school, if you suppose there's some extracurricular classes that you do after the school ends, I forgot what they're called, but you can like go an extra 45 minutes, like stay an extra period to do what you like, suppose music or dance or wall climbing. But the thing is, if you want to learn, say if I wanted to learn guitar, they'd be like, okay, this guy's a guitar sir and you have to learn from him. We don't care if you like him or not. You want to learn guitar, you have to learn from this guy. But when you are homeschooled, if you want to learn guitar, you can just find people in your life that know music and know guitar, and you're like, okay, this one's too rude, this one, and you can choose which one you like. I'm not saying do that, don't judge people, but you can choose on mentors and teachers based on your, say, likes and dislikes. Like if they teach more classical music, and if Danya likes classical music, she can join them. If I like more pop or rock, then if someone teaches that, then I can learn from them. That's another good thing that you get to choose. um and also another thing, when you get into the alternate lifestyle, so to say, then people, they just you become more impulsive, and people sort of expect that from you. Like if I randomly tell my mom tomorrow I want to bake 200 cookies, she'll just gonna be like, yeah, okay, whatever. But if I said that to her like when I was in school, she'll just be like, huh, you have to wake up at 7 tomorrow, go to school. And those are the perks. Like you can do basically anything. Bake 200 cookies, you want to do it, just do it. You want to color your hair, do it. Get a tattoo, do it. No one's stopping you to do anything. Unless like your parents are, but yeah, you can choose whatever you want to do. Your life can be according to your plans rather than your teachers and your school dress code, or you can do whatever you want. You don't have to follow someone else's rules. Okay. And traveling, another thing. Like when you're in school, you have these, okay, Ganesha holidays, 10-day holiday, or like a week holiday, Diwali holiday, 2 weeks holiday, and then other days only on weekends. And if you miss, say, like 1 month of school, then you have to pay this much, or you have to do these extra classes, blah blah blah. But what if you want to travel? What if you want to see the world? What if you want to, say, stay in Europe for like a month? Then, but in school you can't do that. You have to study. You can, like, now online school is there, so I mean you can do that. But in unschooling, you can just go anywhere you want. You can if you want to you still want to study, you still want to record music, whatever, you still want to do writing, you can just take your stuff and just go anywhere. You can just climb on the top of a mountain at 3 a.m. at midnight and no one's going to stop you. But in school, you're like, okay, Diwali holiday, only 15 days. If you take an extra day off, then blah, blah, blah. You have to catch up on this much work, etc., etc. Yeah, that.
Yeah. In fact, after homeschooling, when I started homeschooling, I literally traveled, I think, a lot of places because I had the time. Number one, see, if even if it was online that time, just take for example, I know if now I was in school and I had to travel somewhere, I would have to be like literally with the phone everywhere, like attending to the teachers. And if I was offline in school and I had to travel, that would not be possible because I don't know, you can take one day off and that's it. Maybe Saturday, Sunday, you can just take one break and then come back the next day. So you can't actually travel. So, after homeschooling, I went so many places. I learned so much. I went to Rajasthan. I met the queens, not the queen, but the princess of that area. So like lots of places I traveled. I went to a palace in Rajasthan, I think. There, I don't know, I did a lot of stuff. I fed rabbits. I learned to take care of them, and I learned so many things. From the commoners there, just watching them, and then I was learning about the food there and everything. Then again, see, we lived in Mumbai when I was in school, and while Mumbai is really nice, though it has a lot of it's really busy. It's always busy. It's like literally always busy. I think it's polluted in a way. It's busy. It's always packed with people and everything. So while homeschooling, my mom was like, "Why don't we slow down? Not if we were not the problem, but where we're living also needs to slow down. The Mumbai is fast. It's full of traffic. It's just very active. It's a busy city. So we needed to go somewhere that actually suits our needs." And that's why my mom was like, "Why don't we move to Goa?" So one day she woke up in the morning. She's like, she was talking to my dad. Why don't we move to Goa? And then in a month that was possible, and then there I was in Goa, starting a whole new life somewhere else. Because as much as I liked Mumbai, I needed to slow down. And I've not moved to the side where the tourists are in Goa or where the heart of Goa, the city of Goa, whatever. I moved to a very city side of Goa, which is super quiet, super calm. Everybody sleeps in the afternoon. Everybody works like super slowly. It's seriously calm. There are no traffic jams. The only thing that will jam your traffic is a cow, because here, like, there are lots of cows. I'm not joking, lots and lots and lots of cows. So you won't have any traffic jams, but you will have cow jams. So over here, they're like cow go hatao, hatao, hatao. So it's like cow jams. We don't say traffic jams at all because there's no traffic here. Absolutely nothing. Yeah, you will have instances where snakes will be there. Snakes, there was one snake who squeezed somebody's tire once. So, it's completely like, it's a very villagey side of Goa. I'm not saying that it's a fact that we live in huts. No, not that kind of a village. Villagey in the sense that it's quiet, it's calm, it's very city-like, it's very homey, It's not a busy thing where you just come to this, you don't know where to go, and, it's just not busy at all. So in that way, Goa is very slow. Sometimes it's not that good, because if you call the electrician at like 1, he'll probably come by 2:30. He's like, "Haan, main aata hu." So they are very slow. Everything is slow here. Not joking. You call up the electricity board, they'll be like, if the power goes anytime, it goes random time of the day. You don't know when it's going to come back, because sometimes it goes to an hour, 1 hour, half an hour, and that's a different thing. But it's very slow, and I needed to calm down myself, because if I was in Mumbai, I was still active, because Mumbai is just active. It's just an active place where you are constantly doing something. You're constantly busy. So while we were happy there, but it was just not us. We are not the kind who will live in a village in a hut, and we're not the kind who will live in a really busy city. We needed to find a quiet place. At the same time, it has facilities. It has a like not a hut home. You cannot live in that. A building and everything. So we found to a nice place in Jalamnagar, Mohidin, Ikonia. So now we live there, and yeah, and I'm getting my new house built here as well. So fun experience altogether.
Okay. So about experiences, I like when I was in school, I used to have a pretty like normal life. I didn't think like I obviously thought that like okay, all of my friends go to school. This is how it is. Like till 10th grade till 12th and then college. It's just gonna be like that. But then once I left school, I was like, huh, there's so much to do, like crazy. So some of the crazy experiences you can have is that I go to this farm a lot. But before that, I used to go to this another place called Sapna Ranch. And once I went there, I just wanted to go there a lot. Like and my parents, they had work, they have this business, so like they were like, we can't come, but if you want to go, you can go. So I went by bus, and then I reached there in the night, and I was super tired because traveling for the past 3 hours. And so I reached there. I went to sleep. And in the middle of the night, these two cats, they love to sleep like in the bend of my knees. So they slept there. And in the middle of the night, I heard like a thud next to my like a little next to me, and I was like, huh, what's there? And then I like went to touch it. I thought it was the cat's tail, but it was actually a snake. So like a snake had fallen right here. And then like I got so scared. I was like 13 and I didn't know anything about snakes. And I was like, oh my god, oh my god, oh my god. And then the snake got hyper and almost bit me. But then people there, they knew about snakes, so they it saved me. But since then I had this interest in snakes. So then I started learning about snakes. Now I can identify almost all snakes in India. It's crazy. So that's how, because of experiences, that's how you find a lot about yourself. Like you might not even know it, but then suddenly you'll just be like, huh, I want to start like studying snakes. Um, and now there's another farm I go to. It's called Sakar Eco Village. I don't know if you've heard of it. So I've been going there for the past 6 months as a volunteer, me and my parents. And I wanted to build something, and everyone there was like, "Oh, this is too hard for you. We build with bricks." But then my dad was like, "No, we're gonna do it." And the guy who handles that, he was like, "Yeah, yeah, she can do it." So I started helping in house building. But then like most of the staff there, they were like, "Okay, just fill the cement and give this to us, do that." They made me do the work they didn't want to do. And then I was like, no, I want to build something. So then the owner of Sakar, he was like, okay, you want to build something of yourself? I was like, yeah. So he's like, okay, we have dogs and now rainy season is coming, so we need a dog house. You design it and you make the whole thing. I'll give you all the material you need. So I designed everything and he helped me. And then I built the whole thing by myself out of bamboos. And like it's not yet complete. We still have to do some stuff. But like only some of my friends helped me, but the whole thing I did by myself, and it was really fun. Like you can do so much. And just like if you count the actual hours or the actual days I worked on it, I think in a month I can complete the doghouse. What? Okay, I thought someone said something. Yeah, and also there's this lake over there. It's actually a dam near Devghar Dam. I know. And I wanted to swim a lot. We used to go swimming every evening after five. We just used to swim, swim, swim. And once the uncle over there, he's like 60, 70 something. He crosses the whole dam. It's like a kilometer. He crosses it every day and comes back. And like I'm like, huh? And then we were forced to do it with life jackets, obviously. So like I used to go a little, then I kept going farther. And then I crossed the whole thing one day. And the next time I'm like, okay, I'll do it without life jackets. So uh, the owner of Sakar Viber, he came with me, and I did the whole 2 kilometer swim without a life jacket, without stopping. And it was crazy. It was super fun. So those are the kind of crazy experiences you have because of traveling and yeah, free time. And I wouldn't have gotten to do this if I hadn't started unschooling. Yeah.
So, a long time ago, I didn't really know what a caterpillar was to begin with. And one day my mom was cutting vegetables and she's like, what is this weird creature? She was going to throw it away. I'm like, why are you throwing it away? What is that to begin with? So I go and check it out, and it's a wiggly creature. And, that's the first time I saw a caterpillar, I guess. And it was just there in the Haji, and I was looking at it with curiosity. Then I realized it was a caterpillar, and this was after I did the course. I did the course, the butterfly course, actually before that. So yeah, I did know about caterpillars just before that, and that's when that's the first time I saw a caterpillar in the Bhaji. So I'm like, Mama, what is this? So she's like, I don't know. So I go and Google it out, and it's a caterpillar, and I'm like, Mama, we can actually rear it. At first, my mom is like, what are you doing? But she didn't stop me. So I gave the caterpillar the same food and everything that was written on Google. And it became a really, really beautiful moth, I think. And, that's when I realized that you can actually rear a caterpillar and not throw away those icky creatures that you find in your vegetables. Those are actually caterpillars. Those, green looking or any colored, any multicolored things. If you ever find them in bhindi or peas are the most common place to find them. You've already found them many times and probably tossed them in the bin, but that's actually not right, because like butterflies and moths they indicate healthy environments, they help the environment and everything. So all you have to do is keep it in a box with holes on top and just give it food and everything. And at that time, after I realized that how to rear the caterpillar, I'm not joking, I had an entire table full of caterpillars, like 17, 18 boxes of caterpillars, like literally different species. I had even named them, like I had written labels on it, and I spent 2 hours, 1 hour a day, literally cleaning the whole terrarium, then checking on them, feeding them, recording them, taking pictures, videos. Oh my God. I was obsessed at that time with these creatures because I didn't really know what they were and I was just curious to find out. So at that time I was rearing only moths and lots of beautiful ones. And I found it weird that people said moths are disgusting because of their dull colors, but that's actually not true. That's what I feel. And the most beautiful species of moths are being boiled, because the tussor silk moths, the silky white, the tussor silk, if you've ever heard of the term, they're actually the live boiled cocoons of the tussor silk moths. So we're actually burning them alive, and which is not right. So if you're looking for silk or tussor silk, you should go for a silk that is not made by these creatures. You can Google it and you'll find what is non-tussor silk and tussor silk and everything. Apart from that, a few I think months later, I had the first butterfly, and at first didn't really live. So I thought it was maybe my fault, and then I realized, yeah, maybe it could be this thing that happens in lots of species. If you just change the environment like that and pick them up from the leaf, sometimes it just triggers with their things and they just don't survive. So I was like, okay, fine, and I went to my garden, and what I did is I just took the whole entire branch of the leaf and got it and just put in the thing, and then that's when I first reared my first butterfly. It was a beautiful journey to watch. The butterfly, the caterpillar eating and getting fatter. And instead of reading a book on this, I would rather do it and say, oh yeah, I learned how to rear a butterfly. I would rather do that than read in an encyclopedia how a whole butterfly life cycle. And lots of people don't know this, surprisingly. Butterflies do not just lay eggs on random plants. Like they won't be like, oh yeah, that's a plant, let me lay my egg. No. They have the particular host plants and particular plants that they will lay on. For example, a common crow would not lay an egg on a lemon plant or something like that. Right now I'm not getting my names right, but basically a particular butterfly species would have a particular plant species, and they have a way of telling if this is a plant or not. So apart from that, basically this is all I've gathered only because of homeschooling. If I was in school, I had no time to learn about all this. I had no time to figure out how to rear a caterpillar. I had no time to have 16, 20 boxes of caterpillars lying around in my house because I just didn't have the time, and I genuinely could not do that because it was all about you have to wake up at 6 in the morning, take a shower, go eat, have a bath, and then at that time, after 2 years, 3 years of going to school, it became like torture for me. I hated school. I hated the bound-based curriculum and just everything in all. I didn't hate it, but I just didn't like going. At the point where my mom had to literally be like, "Get up! You have to go to school," and I was like, "No, no, 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 no." And there was this really big bully in school who used to beat me up, and the teachers would be like, "Just ignore it," and I would come back with huge scratches on my leg from that girl who was, by the way, being crazy. She used to bite people and scratch people and whatever. I don't really know. But and the teacher would be like, just ignore it. So I'm like, how can you just say that just ignore it? I can't ignore it. And then huge problems led to me saying, Mama, I don't want to go to school anymore. So then my mom figured out homeschooling, then we unschooled and everything. And in the middle, I was actually learning a lot from Ashita auntie too. I was part of the tribe and everything. So it was fun that time as well. So, when you're not in school, you're doing lots of things. You're learning in 2,000 different ways. And sometimes you don't feel like it's even studies. It's just fun for you. It's not studies. You're not studying. You're having fun. It's not in school. Some of my friends, I was hearing my friends the other day saying, exams are coming up. It's so hard. Our teachers are so hard on us. I hate school. It's the worst thing. And even if the child wants to get out, the parent would let them because they think their future is going to go bad. But honestly speaking, if you know how to homeschool the child, then it's probably, you should go do some research. And some parents don't even know what homeschooling is. Forget it. They think that only one person is homeschooling, which is absolutely not true. There are thousands and thousands of people who are homeschooling. So, it's that even if the child wants to, sometimes the parents have to also agree, and not only agree, research. You can't be like, okay, you're off school, now do whatever you want. No. You can't be like, okay, I'm going to put you in thousands of classes. No. You have to first educate yourself on what is homeschooling. That's why lots of people reach out to my mom to ask her. So, you have to know first before you actually homeschool the child and everything. So, yeah, and you will figure out your own way of homeschooling. Everybody's journey is different. Nobody's journey is the same. But there are just 3 pro tips to homeschooling in all. Is basically, number 1, figure out the hobbies you have. Then number 2, take time in learning from the smallest things around you, And number 3 is just, learning and doing things your own way, but never taking advantage of it. Like, okay, now I'm going to sit and watch TV the whole day. That's not what homeschooling is. While it is learning at your own pace and own time, at the same time, you have to be aware that you still have to have some knowledge gathering in your life and not just be like, okay, yeah, so now I'm homeschooling, I have nothing to do. No, that's not true. So you have to figure out something. Yeah.
Yeah. And like it homeschooling, it increases like your social skills, it increases your tolerance. Like sometimes when my cousins' parents, I have to go somewhere, they'll drop them, or like my neighbors' parents, they'll drop them at my house. Oh, you're free the whole day, take care of my kid. They don't pay me. And then like first I used to hate kids so much. I'll be like, oh, it's so annoying, just ask you annoying questions. Ugh. But like now my tolerance is increased, and because of like being close, because they're more curious. They ask questions because they're curious, and like you get to find lots of stuff. And before, like at the sight of blood, I used to be like, oh my god, oh my god, oh my god. And then once I started volunteering at the shelter, then there was like now like I'll see just super gruesome stuff, like if we're watching horror movies, like blood and stuff. And then I'll just be like, my friends are like, how are you not feeling disgusted? I'll just be like, because of the shelter. Yeah. So it increases like lots of social skills, tolerance level, lots of stuff. So it's really good.
Yeah, true. And when you're, when you are doing things on your own, for example, when I was fostering dogs, you create a bond with them and you learn from them. I have literally made a dog wear a diaper. I put powder in its bum. I don't know what I've not done, but I was really putting all my effort, all my energy into saving that dog. And what did that do to me? Well, that just gave me more information on how to take care of a dog with parvovirus and how to, what to give it, what to feed it, how you start the food cycle, what parvovirus does. Some people don't even know what parvovirus is. Half of my friends thought it was coronavirus that I was dealing with the dog, but no, that's not true. Parvovirus is the infection you get in dogs, which kills them most of the time. But you have to put in a lot of effort to make them survive. I did a lot for that dog. I took him to take saline every day in the morning, and I think I helped him, but he taught me more than I helped him. She taught me more than I helped her. I'm used to calling all dogs he, so ignore that. But I have 6 cats. I know how to take care of cats, but I didn't know how to take care of dogs. I was clueless with dogs until one of my local feeders, her name is Linda. She's an artist as well. She's really, really, really nice. I think at the time obsessed with her at some point. So after that, slowly, she started helping me. We rescued our first dog named Coco. He was a small puppy. Somebody had picked him up from his mom and the whole story and all that. And we had fostered that one, and then we fostered another dog, Maya. So she was a huge story. She's a miracle. She's literally a miracle. She got into so much trouble. We thought she would not even survive because of that virus. But then, when I raise her up and when I have that one whole dog's journey, and when I'm doing that with the dog, I'm learning from the dog, I guess. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, Ashita, could we open up the questions for the audience? Any chance?
Yes, please. I think Hiya just wants to share something.
Yeah, I just wanted to share the story. When I first started fostering, my dad used to be, my mom also, but mostly my dad. He would be like really, really scared of cats and animals in general. But then one day, like they used to jump around a lot and they had sharp nails, so I could understand. But then one day we got this super tiny batch of kittens with their mom, who they didn't even have opened eyes, that they couldn't even walk, anything. They'd just been born like 2 days old. And then to get his fear out, I was like, okay, sit here. And I put one of the kittens in his hand. He was like, oh, he was like squirmish. I'm like, this kitten can't see. She can't walk. She can't do anything. Why are you being scared? He was like, okay. And now he's calmed down. And like after a few years now, if he has some extra, say, food or some bread in his car, he used to just throw it into the bin. But now if he sees dogs on the street, he'll feed them. And it's very cool. Like even parents can learn something from their kids, especially if they're homeschooling. Yeah.
Absolutely.
We can open the questions.
Yeah, we should now, I think, open up the question. Because it's already 6:49.
Yes. So from the audience, you can pour out your questions to the two.
Sometimes time just flies by, like, you don't even know what happened. You just talk so much that you don't know how long it's been.
Yeah.
Well, actually, I was enjoying. I mean, more than questions, I was just flowing with your journey. So, I couldn't formulate. I didn't get the space to formulate any questions because your journey was so interesting. So,
And in 2 hours or less. Because, it's your life. You're being like 11 years. You are I think you're 16. I'm sorry, I forgot your age wrong. But sometimes it's like you can't put your entire 11 years or 16 years into like 2 hours because it's a long time. But sometimes telling people about awareness, creating awareness on your journey so people can learn and put an impact on theirs too, I guess.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah, I think you guys have weaved in very beautifully how, learning from small things around you, observing, the skills, which in a busy city or in a busy life, we tend to kind of overlook and focus only on grades or output, whether it's crossing the dam or walking 2 kilometers, wanting to try, push yourself, push your own limits. And as you, Daanya, I mean, kind of moving from a busy city, but I can see how busy you are. But there is a joy that you're busy there. You're learning what you wish to learn than being told. So I think, yeah.
Or sit in front of a classroom and hear the teacher talk for hours and feel like I want to go to sleep. Like, I do not want to be sent to the principal office for the most stupidest thing. So, I just don't want to have that teacher held lifestyle and grades matter. That's it. That's the only thing that matters in school. Get A's and just give your 10th and become whatever you want. So that's what I want to do. I want to learn while I'm growing up. I don't want to just mug everything up. And what happens with exams is if you're doing any board, you're basically just reading everything, you're just doing everything, and then you're answering it on a sheet. So,
Yeah.
what's the point?
And if you go through that system where everyone's studying the same thing, then once you're old enough to like start a job or something, then you don't know what you want to go into. You don't know what your interests are because everyone's been doing the same exact thing.
Yeah,
and you don't know what you like to do.
Everybody's the same. What's the point?
Yeah.
Those few change makers in the world, they are the ones who are, lots of people I've heard, lots of people were telling me in the middle that, what's homeschooling? What are you doing? Are you crazy? So, my mom was showing me so many people who made a difference that they didn't go to school since like they dropped out of college, they dropped out of so many things just to chase their dreams. So, those few change makers also, they may not have gone to school, they may not have been so wise, but they've become something. Right? They become what they want to be. So
True. I don't think any of us, I mean, we are also schooled, now into adults. But yeah, I don't think I would say that my schooling journey or my life journey has taught me how to become tolerant and open to, things how Hiya shared that. I think that's commendable that, how you guys are so aware emotionally, physically. And at every step, of course, I'm sure you do make mistakes and you falter. Yet, because of the supportive environment and more so importantly the belief in yourselves is kind of what takes you forward. So I don't know, today I think I'm just at a loss of words. I have thoroughly enjoyed the conversation with the two of you, and I've taking back so much for my kids, and so a big thank you.
planted inside of my room, and it had lost its flower and the chili is coming out. So I was noticing that as well. So it's just like looking at every detail, learning from everything around you, basically. So yeah, so I think we should start opening up the audience questions.
Sure, if anybody wants to share, or ask them something.
Also, where is this like the recording? Where is it going to go? Just asking.
I'll put it on the group, the tribe group, the Tween Teen Tribe, and I'll share it with you personally also. So, it'll be there with you.
Yeah. I guess this is where we say, I think, goodbye, maybe. Because there's nothing else to say. Honestly. And I'm scared my net is going to go in the middle. So,
Yeah, I think if there are any questions, Monali, anybody who wants to ask something? If not, then yes, absolutely. As I said that, today I'm just left kind of speechless, and there were no questions that I could formulate. I was just thoroughly enjoying your journey and learning every bit of it. from your experiences. And I think you guys have weaved in very, very beautifully little things that we tend to overlook or take it for granted, that it's there. And a step-by-step journey, and most importantly, slowing down. Both of you in your own experiences is what I take back from this evening. So yeah, I think since we don't see anybody, everybody seems quite content with the journey. I would like to thank both of you for your time and sharing your beautiful journey with us, and kind of taking us to a completely different world, and thoroughly enjoying what we're doing with our kids. And we'll surely kind of connect, reconnect, ask you questions, and as and when we kind of move forward with our kids. Our kids are pretty small, but it's a long way to go. So thank you for being there, and we're glad that you exist as a community and a social thing for our kids to look up to. So yes, hopefully we can meet soon and connect and have more fun with each other.
Thanks for having us.
Pleasure. Thank you. Take care.
Perfect.